forensic experts uncovered during the data extraction was deeply concerning. At exactly 12:12 p.m. on February 26th, Stefan's phone had been factory reset through the settings menu. This wasn't a glitch or a software update.
See?
It required multiple steps, including entering a password. There was no way it happened by mistake. Jennifer.
Also, nigga, every update I done got on my iPhone, it ain't never said, yeah, you want to factory reset your data? No, you dumbass. It just says, yeah, bro, you gonna have to update the update gonna start at this time. Make sure you're on a charger. Like, what is he talking about? Anybody who has a phone in this era would not believe that. That makes no sense.
Jennifer later told investigators that Stefan became visibly agitated after giving his phone to the police. That reaction, paired with the reset, made him look even more suspicious.
So earlier that day, I think Detective Hunt came, or somebody came, and asked Stefan for his cell phone. If he would willingly give it up so that they can look at it, or if they would need a warrant. And I remember him saying, should I have asked a warrant? Should I have? And I'm like, no, if you got nothing to hide, give him your fucking phone. And I think we hung out in the house for a little bit, and then when you guys came in the evening, and you guys told us to wait outside, and we waited in my car, he started getting very anxious and very panicky, going, I want my phone back. I want my phone back. And I said, listen, at this point, it's their phone. It's theirs for fucking ever. I don't give a shit. We will buy you a new phone. It doesn't matter anymore. Whatever they need, they need. Like, let them look at it.
I don't really think nobody fucking with it anyway, you know what I'm saying? 24 fucking hundred. I come from that fucking block. I been out that Johnny up and up that cutter. If we cannot.
Welcome back. We're back with another reaction video. Today we're reacting to part 2 of Child Predator accidentally says something that only the killer would know. This is a Detective Williams video. Let's get right back into it. We'll continue with the interrogation of Stefan.
I had a couple errands to run over on 192. She was talking about making a B-Day shopping list. She just wanted to make sure I was back in time for us to both go pick. So I was visiting some card shops around the area on 192. I'm kind of a nerd, so we had a new trading card game release, and I was seeing what the situation was with it.
Jennifer offered more about Stefan's personality, describing him as an obsessive gamer with a love for collectibles, figurines, trading cards, and even old-school toys.
Do you remember what places you visited?
Yeah, Coliseum of Comics. Stopped by a couple Targets, and I was going to go to House Rules Games down by Oak and 192, but I didn't make it that far. I got a flat tire on the way.
With a factory reset now on record, and the excuse of a flat tire added to the mix, the list of suspicious actions continued to grow. Jennifer went on to explain what later happened that day, as the time to pick up Madeline from school approached, an event that, by then, they both knew would never come.
2:30 rolls around, and I'm already calling Stefan, and he's not picking up his phone. 2:30 comes, I leave. About 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from him going, I just got back home, I left my phone home again, I'm so sorry. How long ago did you leave? And I said, about 10 minutes ago. He goes, I'm so sorry, I missed it, I really wanted to go with you. And I was like, it's fine.
Investigators tried to narrow down the exact location where Stefan claimed to have changed his tire, but once again, his memory became cloudy. The details were vague, he just didn't know the specifics. Or so he claimed.
Do you remember where you got your flat tire?
It was on 192. I pulled into one of those plazas somewhere.
Do you remember the name of the plaza by any chance?
Unbeknownst to investigators at the time, that flat tire would later play a critical role.
To be fair, a lot of places be having random ass names, and I'm not about to remember a plaza name I just pulled into randomly, brother. To be fair.
In the search for Madeline, unlocking one of the biggest breaks in the case. While attention turned back to Jennifer, she described going to the school to pick up Madeline, but her story, like Stefan's, didn't hold steady. More inconsistencies surfaced, especially around the timeline.
4:10 rolls around, and she's still not out, or 4:09, and then at this point I'm feeling the pressure from the cars behind me. I'm like, okay, they're all full, they're all waiting for me to leave, she's not here yet. So I take off, and I'm thinking, maybe I missed her, maybe I forgot to tell her I was picking her up from school today, because I don't know if she knew that I wasn't working. I don't know if she knew if I was off. So I asked, I don't know if I told her that I was going to get her. So I left, thinking maybe she walked, that's pretty close to school. If I can't pick her up at school, that's where I tell her to I drove the path she would have walked. I didn't see her. I got to the office. She goes, oh, it's a little too early. And I said, okay, let me go drive back down, wait along the path she would walk, and just wait. And I parked and I waited. Between 5 to 10 minutes. She still wasn't there, and I looked at the time and I'm like, okay, she should be back at my mom's office by now. Maybe she took a different path and I didn't see. So I went, no, she's still not here. And I checked her attendance for the rest of the day. She wasn't at school at all. Like, he sent me a screenshot of like her attendance and it said 000.
You still have it on the phone?
Yes.
Okay.
Jennifer initially claimed she saw Madeline getting ready, only to later say she merely heard her. Oddly enough, she corrected Stefan on what Madeline had been wearing, despite previously insisting she never laid eyes on her that morning.
Blue or black pants?
I think black shorts.
Black shorts?
Black shorts? Okay.
Camera footage near the supposed drop-off point revealed a major discrepancy. Stefan's car was never seen in the area. Instead, footage showed him heading in the opposite direction at the same time he claimed to be near the school. A license plate reader confirmed he was 9 miles away in St. Cloud, driving toward a gaming store in Kissimmee. Then, for nearly an hour, he vanished from all surveillance. Given the increasingly suspicious circumstances, police barred both Stefan and Jennifer from returning to their apartment on the night of February 27th. Jennifer's reaction to the news was far from what detectives expected.
I think at this point, when I noticed that forensics was locking down the house and you guys said we couldn't come back, I told him to call his dad. Because I had a feeling y'all knew something, and it was going to come down on him. And I'm just like, they're focusing on the wrong person. They have the wrong person. In my head, I'm convinced you guys are just... you have the wrong person. I started saying to him, like, I think they're focusing in on you. Like, we need to call your dad, and I think we need to get you a lawyer.
Nigga, she gotta be digmatized. Because there ain't no way my daughter missing. And I'ma just be like, yeah, they trying to pin this on you. But like, nigga, I don't give a about who they trying to pin this on. I just want to find my child. I don't care about that. None of that. So the fact that you trying to say this nigga, protect this nigga, is the craziest work on planet Namek. What the hell?
How do you feel when you say he's a lawyer?
He didn't believe me. Like, when I told him, like, don't you see forensics is closing down the house? They know something, or there's something, like, they know something. Something's happening. They wouldn't be locking down the house this way if they didn't have suspicions of something. But I wasn't thinking, I don't know why I wasn't thinking him. Like, I was just like, no, they've got the wrong guy.
That same night, after investigators seized Stefan's phone, the couple checked into a hotel with Stefan's father, Chris, a retired Orange County deputy. Chris would soon speak with police, and what he had to say revealed a troubling view of his own son. The next morning, Stefan thought he could just slip away and no one would know. But that's not how things panned out.
The following morning, I wake up, I think around 9 o'clock in the morning, and Stefan's not there. And I remember thinking, he left again without his phone and didn't tell anyone where he was going. That's suspicious as again. Why is he trying to...
Well, we took his phone, so he got a new phone?
He didn't get the new phone until later that day, where his dad woke up, came to our hotel room, and then handed him a phone.
Okay.
And said, here, have this phone in the meantime until you get your own phone back.
So you're just saying he's out and about with no phone?
Yeah, he's out and about with no phone, so there's no way for us to contact him. There's no way for us to... I didn't know if he even knew how to get back to the hotel. Because I drove that night. He's a little oblivious to when it comes to directions. So I'm just like, is he going to even figure out how to get here? But he rolled in around 11:15, rolled in with a cup of Wawa, and said, oh, I'm so sorry, I was just driving around. I grabbed some Wawa on 182 and got lost. I didn't know how to get back to the hotel, but I'm here now. And I'm just like, detectives are about to show up. What the f would have happened if they showed up and you weren't here? Like, you would have been a fugitive. Like, what are you doing? And he was just apologetic about not telling anyone where he went.
But you know, I mean, he had a Wawa cup and he said he was up at 192.
Yeah, but in reality, I know that he truly took my car in the middle of the night to Northport, Florida, and I was down there for an hour and came back.
At 4:35 a.m. on February 28th, hotel cameras recorded Stefan leaving the lobby in Jennifer's vehicle. Less than 2 hours later, at 6:29 a.m., a license plate reader placed him just a mile away from his parents' house in Northport, roughly 150 miles from Kissimmee. Investigators, now growing more confident that Stefan's movements were tied to Madeline's disappearance, contacted his father, Chris, right away.
Did he tell you he was in Northport today? I'm assuming he did, based on your reaction. So, can you take a seat? Or?
No,
okay.
He was in Northport.
Yes. What's the exit you take off at your house?
Okay. 179.
Okay, do you know the street? Like,
Toledo Road.
Okay. So we have more than enough reason to believe that Stefan was in Northport today at the exit you take to get to your house. Our concern is we're conducting a missing person investigation.
Yes.
Given the proximity of that exit to your home, what we're trying to find out is if she's just hanging out in your house, you just want to get her somewhere safe, we want to put eyes on her, make sure she's okay.
Chris immediately reached out to his wife, who was home in Northport, to let her know that police were on their way. Meanwhile, he offered his own theory. If Stefan had hidden Madeline, there might be another location they could check out.
They're going to come over and want to search a house for, apparently, can I tell them? Yeah. Apparently, Stefan made a trip down to Northport last night. Or this morning, I should say. I have no idea. But there's a storage unit, but he wouldn't have access to the keys to the storage unit because I have the only key to it. And that would have been locked in my car, and he would have had to come in my room, which he didn't have a key to get into.
Fully cooperative, Chris granted officers permission to search both his home and a nearby storage unit for any signs of Madeline. At the same time, he revealed to investigators a gut-wrenching suspicion he had shared with his wife once they learned Madeline was missing.
When I left last night, I said, hey, I turned to her, I said, do we really know? You know, is he capable of doing something harmful to her?
Why would you suspect that?
Because some inconsistencies of phone calls he had with me didn't add up, okay? So I'll give you the sequence. He calls me
mid-afternoon, 3-ish, maybe 3:45 or something, and say, I just had a flat tire. Okay, how the f did you get a flat tire? You just drove over to Kissimmee. You took her, maybe you're running an errand, but where would you have gone to get a flat tire?
It wasn't until later that day, around 5 p.m., that Stefan finally told Chris that Madeline hadn't shown up for school. Jennifer, too, expressed concerns about Stefan's actions, her doubts beginning to mirror what investigators already suspected.
Him disappearing to Northport. What the hell was he doing? That is suspicious. I mean, now that I know that that's where he went, that is suspicious as all f***. Why did he go to a storage unit facility? What was he grabbing? What was he trying to dispose of? Or what was he trying to hide in the... That to me is suspicious.
No one at the time knew the truth about what Stefan was doing in Northport and how it ties into Madeline's disappearance. Police combed through the house and storage unit, but found no physical trace of her. Meanwhile, Stefan returned to the hotel and was brought in for questioning immediately, unaware that his house of lies was about to be destroyed.
What happened to your hand?
Flat tire. I haven't changed the flat tire in about 10 years.
Why is y'all smelling tire like this?
Too close to where the jack and the frame meet, and it slipped, and the frame came down on my thumb and pinned it between the jack, which I feel like I got off surprisingly light with that.
Ouch.
I yanked it free. You're not supposed to do that. It's okay. It's got a little stutter, so losing another nail.
What about the other scratches?
Courtesy of a janky tire iron and the road.
Did you bleed at all?
Yeah, this one had some blood and this one had some blood, but not much. It clotted fast.
Do you know what popped your tire at all?
I have no idea. The tire just started going floppy and then
pretty worn out.
Way floppier and then just completely freaking separated. I think I had a spare and a jack. Janky as it was.
So typically when changing a tire and stuff, you tend to get brake dust and dirty and all that.
Yeah. Positive that I breathed in some freaking brake dust or tire dust or something because I was coughing the rest of the afternoon.
What'd you end up doing to clean up or stop the bleeding and stuff?
Nothing, actually. Just went home and washed my hands and that was it.
Your clothes get all messed up at all, or?
Not bad, surprisingly.
What were you wearing, by chance?
This. I'm still wearing this. I'm still wearing the same clothes.
Oh, so you kept everything?
Try to, I guess.
Earlier surveillance captured Stefan wearing a red shirt while disposing of a trash bag in the apartment complex's compactor, with Madeline still in the front passenger seat of his car. But later that morning, a smoke shop security footage showed him in an entirely different outfit. The wardrobe change may seem minor, but in this case, it could suggest something far more calculated.
You were wearing a red shirt?
Yeah, I got rid of the evidence.
I was wearing a red shirt early in the morning. But I changed clothes later because that shirt was in a couple days with that one. And the flat tire happened after that.
A closer look at the apartment security footage showed Stefan returning to the trash compactor multiple times that day. At 4:35 p.m., around the time he claimed to have found out Madeline hadn't made it to school, he was seen throwing out part of a damaged tire. But that wasn't all.
I'm too old to lie to people. Too old to beat around the bush. And we seem like we're having a generally good conversation right now. Okay.
Brother, what? That's not what's going on here.
The only thing that I ask for from you is, and I will reciprocate, I want you to be honest with me as much as I'm being honest with you. Okay. There's cameras all over the place, as you can imagine. Nowadays, cameras are everywhere. Okay. So we see you coming in at the guard shack. Okay. We see you go by the dumpster. Okay.
I may have taken some trash with me then.
What was in the trash?
House trash.
House trash?
Yeah.
House trash.
So it must have been that morning then. Tossed trash bags on the back seat.
Okay. When you for school, did she have her backpack with her?
Yes.
She did. Did she have her school computer with her?
Yes. Presumably, yes.
Presumably. Okay.
She should have.
They got school computers for middle schools. Where the f are they at?
There was things in that trash bag that got thrown away that probably shouldn't have been thrown away.
Next to the discarded tire, investigators found a Hawaiian print backpack, a school-issued laptop, and a single white crock, all items that matched the description of what Madeline Soto had on her the day she went missing. With that discovery, Stefan's story about dropping her off and watching her walk towards school completely collapsed. The detective, now faced with overwhelming evidence, asked him to tell him what really happened.
I can confidently tell you she did not go to school with her backpack. Because we found it in the trash. So, Stefan, here's what I'm asking you and pleading with you is to dig down and do some soul searching.
Brother,
kids,
what are you saying?
Kids. And this little girl's out there somewhere that we need to know where. And I really, really, really think you can help us. I mean, you want to get something off your chest.
You're telling me to do soul searching, and I did it. What the
I'm pleading with you.
What soul?
Even as the pieces came together, Stefan stuck to his denials. But the evidence was quickly closing in. Detectives weren't done yet. They were preparing to confront him with the most damning material yet. Data recovered from his phone that would be nearly impossible to explain away.
Oh yeah, come here.
What do you think was on the phone?
Text messages. Emails. Phone stuff.
Pictures?
Why do these niggas be trying to sound so meek, bro? That shit throwing me, bro.
Training card pictures. Lightsaber pictures. Disney pictures.
Do you have a Google account?
Yeah.
Do you save pictures to your Google
Doesn't everybody have a Google account?
Sometimes.
Or is it automatically? I know sometimes phones sync to a cloud and...
Yeah, I think it backs up to Google.
And then sometimes when you reset your phone and your phone updates and puts these apps back on your phone, sometimes they will put the images back on your phone.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Now that the federal reset shows, I don't know what he's talking about.
Give me back pictures of you and
You and who?
Probably, I mean, went to Disney.
Probably
took selfies on the train.
the missing girl.
She got back
Madeline.
from Puerto Rico and had her hair braided. We got pictures of that. All sorts of pictures. Family events. I'm not as much of a shutterbug.
On February 28th, digital forensic analysts uncovered a lot of disturbing content. Hundreds of images and videos pulled from Stefan's phone and linked to Google Cloud account. Some dated back to when Madeline was just 8 years old. Though his face rarely appeared, a distinctive black marking on his genitals matched what was visible in several of the photos, removing any doubt about who was behind the camera. His search history revealed even more disturbing patterns, with implications too horrific to ignore. The investigation had officially crossed into something even darker than anyone could have even imagined.
here's where I'm going to be brutally honest with you.
You're a freak.
Your phone.
There's child
I'm
pornography.
pretty sure you know what some of those pictures are about. You're a very intelligent person.
Bro,
I don't want you to discredit yourself by
Stop
saying
it.
you don't
Stop
know
it.
about.
Bro, stop calling these freakazoids intelligent people, bro. Bro, stop trying to stroke his ego. He was already stroking this to a child. He's weird, bro. Like, nigga, stop this, bro. Let's not do this, bro. This nigga's a weirdo, bro. Like, I don't like when y'all do that. You're a pretty intelligent guy. Not if you're doing this. Not today, Morty. Like, brother, he's getting caught. There's no intelligence there.
All the pictures that are on your phone. You understand what I'm saying? So you want to add to the list of pictures?
I don't know. Should I be talking with a lawyer right now?
I can't answer that question. My sole purpose right now.
A smart person would have already
see
to
if
ask
I
for a
can
lawyer.
find, and I'm really hoping you can help me.
Okay. Well, I'd like to try to help. I feel like I should probably have a lawyer present at this point.
Why is he whispering like
you're
he's a
on attorney.
little girl?
Yeah, I think so.
In another interrogation room, Jennifer was shown the disturbing evidence recovered from Stefan's phone. Investigators expected shock, denial, maybe even outrage. But her reaction stunned them. It wasn't what anyone in the room anticipated.
I knew.
We had his phone. We were able to get into his phone. And there are some very, very unfortunate graphic pictures.
Disturbing is the better word.
Very sexual acts with
your daughter. You weirdo.
I wish I could tell you this was all a made-up story, but it's not. Did you ever suspect anything like this?
How are you feeling right now?
Why she whispering now?
I can't breathe.
Is this a surprise?
Is there photos of her?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So you know how we have his phone? Obviously, that's how we were able to find photos in there.
I don't want to believe that this is true.
I can understand it now, but at this point, when do we get to suspecting that she's an accomplice, my nigga? Like, realistically, because what do you mean? Bro, most people would be like, oh no, this is weird. Oh, I can't believe that. Like, bro, I would assume that it'd be outrage somewhere directed towards the weirdo that's been perpetrating on your child. But the bitch is just, oh, I don't believe you. What are you saying right now? I'm confused, bro.
Can we see some of that evidence?
Bitch, what?
What makes you believe that it's not?
I thought I knew her long enough.
Even after being told the photos were real, Jennifer kept asking to see proof. Investigators hesitated,
That's
warning her
weird.
the images were extremely difficult to view. But when they finally showed her one of them, her response wasn't horror or disbelief, it was something far more unsettling, leading detectives to a deeply disturbing suspicion.
So what do you think should happen to Stefan?
I'm afraid to say press charges, but
I'm afraid to say press charges.
there's a side of me that wants to say he's innocent if this isn't happening, but who else could that be? She's not left alone with anyone else.
And why would they be on his phone?
Yeah, why would he be on his own exactly? I don't know what to do.
Okay, so
What do you mean?
I don't want to make you answer that right now, you know. But when we come back, we'll talk more about it.
Mind you, her daughter is still, for all purposes, missing. Like, what do you mean? God, what is she talking about?
Don't worry about this afterwards. She's our main focus.
That's where I'm at. I know that the sexual act happened, but I'm not convinced that he didn't take her to school. I'm not convinced that he's the reason she's gone. Because if this had been going on for so long, what's the motive? Why Monday? Why that day? Why the day after her birthday when we were supposed to spend the entire week together and have such a great time? Like, we had plans. Like, we knew we were just going to be together that week and we were going to have a good time. So I just can't think, like, why?
When you say what's the motive, what are you assuming?
That she was taken. Not that anyone that I know has done something to her, because I feel like nobody I know would do something to her, would hurt.
That she was taken. Nigga, she said, I don't believe anybody that I know would hurt her. And this nigga was literally... What are you saying to me right now? Because this don't make no sense. You literally just seen multiple pictures of this man diddling your daughter, and you proceed to say, I don't believe anybody would try to hurt her that I know. Bitch, you know him. Fuck.
Hurt her, would murder her, anything like that.
The apartment search uncovered more troubling evidence. In Stefan's room, police found a firearm. In Madeline's room, they discovered a phone tripod hidden in a drawer and a pair of men's underwear in the laundry basket. Using a specialized light source, areas of fluorescence were detected on Madeline's comforter, suggesting further possible abuse. They also found one of Madeline's school notebooks. Inside were drawings depicting explicit sexual acts. The volume and nature of the evidence led authorities to charge Stefan with sexual battery. After collecting enough to move forward, he was officially placed under arrest. Still, despite everything, Jennifer continued to defend him. Even with overwhelming proof that Madeline had been victimized, she refused to accept that Stefan could be involved in her disappearance.
We know that. What if he's telling the truth about dropping her off and driving away and driving around in circles and getting to the vape shop? Is there video evidence of him in front of the vape store? Because I know there's banks around, right in that same plaza. There must, and an Am stop. There must be video of him pulling into that plaza and waiting.
What do you mean? What's your question?
If you guys have found evidence of him being in front of the store like he said he was, like, it's possible that his story might be true and somebody else could have taken her. Like, I'm just thinking, like, what if we're focusing, like, okay, this things happened, right? But what if that's completely a side thing and not having to do with this, like her missing?
48 hours passed after Stefan's arrest, but Madeline remained missing. Investigators returned to Jennifer with another conversation, this time to express a concern that they've had this entire time.
I think at a certain point throughout this relationship, you became aware of it. And for whatever reason, your reasons are your reasons, whether it was discussed that it would stop, whether it was discussed how it would go, that you feel some sense of guilt. A lot of the news statements you've given kind of, again, my opinion only, I don't speak for anybody else, whether it's in this room or out of this room, bother me. It seems like some of your emotion, up until this room, I think some of the emotion in this room is sincere. I think a lot of it's because I'm being an asshole, and I'm telling you things you don't want to hear that shouldn't be said out loud. But when you talk to the news, when you talk to deputies,
what do you mean?
It feels,
most of
based
that
on my
sincere.
experience in this
Nigga,
job,
what?
that it's not sincere. I feel like some of your sadness is not real sadness. I feel like when you gave the interview with Fox 35, it was not sincere. Looking at that video one time, I didn't feel like your cries were sincere. And I'm not saying that because you're a bad person. I feel like sometimes people struggle to show real emotion when they're aware of what the truth is, so it has to be fake. This demise for the past, let's say, 5 years, right? But her going missing, her disappearance, if you have knowledge of how it happened, where it happened, an inclination, that emotion's not going to feel sincere because you're already aware of what happened.
Right.
It's almost becomes
If
a lie.
I knew
I can
anything,
understand
I promise
that,
you,
but-
I would tell you. Like, I am willing to take a lie detector test, whatever the fuck you want, but I don't know anything. He's never mentioned anything. I've never seen any signs. I tried watching her like a hawk. I thought I was doing a good job, but I wasn't.
Whether or not Jennifer was fully
I tried watching her like a hawk. This man has multiple hundreds of... Alright. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Stop lying. wish you would just be real. Like, what the fuck are you lying for? Like, this is stupid. No, I had no idea. None. You didn't think it was weird when this nigga was suggesting to have a sleepover with your 12-year-old? The fuck? What? Why would they be in the same bed ever in life, my nigga? What the fuck?
Aware of what had been happening, one fact remained unchanged. Madeline was still gone. And finding her, or at the very least, uncovering the truth of what happened to her, was now the only thing that mattered, at least for the police department.
We currently have upwards, probably 200 people working on finding. Right, the Orange County Sheriff's Office is involved, the Kissimmee Police Department's involved, St. Cloud Police Department, Osceola County Sheriff's Office, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, FBI, yes, under suspicious circumstances. So anybody who is somebody is involved.
Yeah.
So regardless of the circumstances, those people don't get to go home, those people don't get to go back to their families, those people don't get to live their lives, go back to their primary jobs. I know the sheriff has probably expressed to you that's his #1 priority. I'm sure the Kissimmee Police Department's expressed that to you, our detectives. This isn't something that's going to stop or go away.
Yeah.
Right? Anybody who knows something, anybody who may know something, will be brought to a room, will be talked to, whether they're guilty, whether they're innocent. Because our #1 priority, our jobs have kind of stopped on any other things we have going on until it's fine. Because that's the most important thing anybody has going on right now. I can tell you, I know detectives expressed to you that the thought process at this point is this is a homicide investigation.
Yeah.
Based on the evidence I've seen, based on the videos I've seen, I do believe.
As investigators continued analyzing surveillance footage from the early morning of February 26th, a devastating realization began to take shape. The way Madeline was positioned in the passenger seat, slumped forward with her head tilted unnaturally, wasn't typical. It raised a chilling possibility she may not have been alive during that car ride.
Right.
Later footage from a nearby parking garage only deepened those fears. At 9:41 a.m., a time when Stefan claimed he was simply waiting for the vape shop to open, cameras captured what appeared to be him lifting Madeline from the passenger seat and placing her into the trunk. The problem is, without a body, this remained a theory. But the more footage they reviewed, the more heartbreaking the picture became. Meanwhile, a disturbing admission from Jennifer pushed the lead detective to his breaking point.
Have you talked to Chris about Stefan getting a lawyer?
Yeah.
When?
I think when you guys showed me the photos.
Huh? So he showed you photos of Stefan being...
No.
The first thought you had was to ask his father if he should get a lawyer?
No. I saw a picture. I didn't see I didn't know she was getting until yesterday.
This bitch is killing me. Yo, she dead lying though. Like, bro, I don't know. Yesterday, you saw a picture of this genitalia near your daughter, and you proceeded to say, "Yeah, he needs a lawyer." What the fuck? What? Huh? Bitch, are you disturbed? The fuck is going on here?
I saw the picture of the oral happening.
Huh?
And I knew that was true, right? That's evidence. That's for real. That's really happening. But I kept thinking, they're going...
But when we telling you that this nigga's doing this,
I don't know why
you didn't believe it.
I can't tell you why my brain kept thinking, no, he didn't kill her. Not that he didn't kill her, but...
Why would he not?
She's still missing. She's still out there. She was taken. Yes, he's done this to her. And that's not okay. But I swore she was still... I felt in my body she was still alive. She was still out there.
Your body don't know.
I told Chris to get a lawyer because I felt like you guys were chasing the wrong person. But you weren't. You're not.
We showed you a picture. A picture
and you
saw.
told this nigga to go get a lawyer.
To a grown-ass man who...
Listen to this.
And you told his dad to get him a lawyer.
Jennifer's reactions to the evidence of Madeline's assaults were alarmingly detached. Her lack of urgency and emotional distance struck a nerve. As the details became more graphic, the detective's patience cracked.
And now she only getting fake crying after these niggas just confronting her about protecting a weirdo. So by extension, she's a weirdo. Like, bro, what do we... oh, Lord. Like, brother, I don't know what to classify this as, but this is a tragedy. Her daughter never had a chance.
And you prioritized him again. You prioritized him by offering him, or telling his dad to get him a lawyer. Not, what the fuck did he do?
Thank you.
Not, hey, we need to figure out what happened.
Thank you.
No, let's protect Stefan. No, it's not shock.
I was in shock, my ass.
To protect Stefan.
I don't know why I said that.
But that's the problem. You don't know why. So the reaction in your mind is you are continuously protecting this guy.
Please.
Does your role in her life lead this to happen? I'll be honest. Yes.
Brother,
she was a child. Her victimization started to occur under your roof, and you acted like it didn't exist.
Thank you.
And knowing the victimization, knowing how ongoing it is, knowing that you saw a picture of it, not just us telling you, not me and him saying, hey, listen, he's being I think they had a bad relationship. They showed you a fucking picture of it. And you still protected him.
That's the wildest I've ever heard.
So how am I supposed to not think that the thought process in your mind is until she's found, Stefan can't be charged with murder? Because we both now know that you don't want him to be charged with murder because you want him to have a lawyer.
No, I don't. That was
Oh,
then.
he can't be charged with murder.
That was then. Everything that you guys have shown me since then and have shown me that he's
so
still
we have to show you a
lying
picture of her dead in the car for you to...
That's like, that don't make sense. What are you saying right now? Where are the motherly instincts? This shit's supposed to be that popped out. No, I'm not letting you have a sleepover with my daughter. No, nigga, y'all cannot be in the same bed. No, nigga, you cannot. Like, what the f are you talking about? Like, somebody help me understand. What the f is she talking about?
To finally not take his side? Enough? Do you not see where I'm coming from? Like, I'm not trying to get here.
No.
Like, it makes absolutely no sense that your is Stefan.
Despite the growing belief that Madeline may be deceased, her remains still hadn't been found. But if their theory was true, it raised another pressing question. Why? What possible reason would Stefan have to take her life?
What do you think made him snap?
Maybe she was gonna expose this.
I keep hearing
Tell me your theories, because here's the deal. We don't go home until she's found.
That's what I'm assuming.
So what are your theories?
What I've heard is
she was gonna run away and expose that nigga.
What if she upset him and threatened to tell me and say that she was going to tell me? And
what would telling you have done? You would have believed him over her, clearly.
What do you think?
I believe.
What difference would that have made?
He killed her.
And you still don't want to believe this?
He was who killed her Sunday night and stuck her body out in the morning. That photo you guys showed me of her stuffed in the car.
You don't want to believe he killed her.
Like what?
I want to believe she's still alive and that she got kidnapped, but that doesn't seem like that's the case at all.
How the hell would she have gotten kidnapped, nigga? Alright.
Nothing else. I just want to believe she's still alive. She's out there.
You mentioned drugged her, you mentioned...
Nigga, he did.
Explain your reasoning behind those assumptions and we'll move forward day by day.
So he had access to benzos and I think Lunesta.
What are those? I'm not familiar with that.
You know what benzo is?
Anxiety medications which relax you and can make you sleepy.
You know?
Okay.
And Lunesta, I think, is a sleeping medication, like for insomnia. So I don't know if it's possible he gave her something and she was drugged. And
that makes sense.
You're saying she's dead, maybe she was drugged, but if she is dead and it was done upstairs, I could just only imagine that he choked her. I don't know how else you would kill someone and not leave a mess.
The answer may lie in a disturbing search history. On February 12th and again on the 14th, Stefan looked up sevoflurane, a volatile anesthetic known for causing unconsciousness and memory loss during surgery.
What the hell?
He also searched whether the drug would show up on toxicology reports. For the lead detective, this was enough. Whatever Stefan claimed, he wasn't willing to believe Madeline was just asleep in that car.
We know he killed her. We know he drove out of there Monday morning. We know he discarded her backpack in the trash dumpster. We know he discarded her laptop and one shoe. Right? So all her property was discarded to look like she's gone. That way he doesn't have evidence with him. They leave. You've been told that they drove around Orange County, Osceola County, wherever it was. You've pieced that together throughout the week. Right? He's told you where, at least in his version of where he was and what he was doing. Right? But then you have all these suspicious times of when he's left and come back and he's gone here and gone there. So what do you think he was doing on all these suspicious times? He's roaming 192. What do you think? Knowing what you know now we can play. You know she's dead. You know that we've given you information. What do you think, knowing what you know, he was doing at 192? He was doing here. He was doing here. He was doing in Northport. What do you think?
So him leaving early in the morning and driving around aimlessly somewhere. I feel like he stashed the body at that time. When he came back and then left again. But see, it's daytime. Like, how could you move a body or move something in daytime and not be seen? But like, I feel like he went back to check, to make sure he did a good job, or to move the body again.
Eventually, detectives would learn exactly what Stefan had been doing in Northport, along with a discovery that would shock even the most seasoned investigators.
What, he burned her?
But one piece still didn't fit. Those 54 minutes in St. Cloud, where Stefan vanished from surveillance 9 miles from Kissimmee. Jennifer claimed she had no clue what he was doing that morning, but at this point, her credibility, like Stefan's, was rapidly fading.
I didn't think he ever, even knew where St. Cloud was, because we've never driven down that way ever.
I mean, you live in Kissimmee, right?
Yeah, I know, but to me, he's never had a reason to ever drive down to St. Cloud.
As investigators pushed Jennifer for more information, they had no idea how close they were to the answers they desperately needed. During questioning, Jennifer offered a grim and disturbing theory about where Madeline might be found, one that seemed more like a distraction than a sincere effort to help.
If I were him, and I had to stash a body,
I'm not putting my feet in his shoes.
I would never do this.
Thank you. I'm not doing that.
Go to Lake Toho. There's a lot of woods there. There's a lot of gators.
Like I told you, there's going to come to a point where we will. Right? Volusia County Sheriff's Office just found somebody the other day that's been missing for a long time. People get found. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not quick. I hope in this situation it's today, tomorrow, Sunday, but we will find her. What you need to think about is, when we find her, is there an opportunity or a chance that we are going to prove that you did not assist us to your full capability in this investigation? And if that is true, you need to think about the consequences of that. Consequences of hindering a murder investigation or a capital sexual battery investigation could be punishable up to probably the same charges, at the same time in jail.
Charge her ass.
I know you know that I don't believe what you're saying. I know you know that I think you prioritize Stephanie. But do you prioritize jail? You see what I'm saying? Like, if we come back and prove that you sat in this room and misled us, that you didn't lead us in the right direction, or that you assisted, or you acknowledged, or you knew, you're getting warning from jail.
If I knew anything, I swear I would tell you.
Then, just minutes after her interview ended in frustration, a call came in. A witness had seen a silver car and a man matching Stefan's description changing a tire near Hickory Tree Road, the same area in St. Cloud where Stefan vanished from surveillance. The tip
so he really
was specific.
did have a flat.
The witness pointed investigators toward a set of locked gates leading to private property. With permission from the landowner, officers entered, and what they found would end the search in the worst possible way. Deep in a stretch of bamboo, partially hidden beneath hay or dry grass, lay Madeleine's body. She was dressed in a green sweatshirt and blue jeans. The bottoms of her socks were clean, confirming the worst. She had been carried. More revelations followed, exposing the horrifying truth about Stefan's early morning trip to Northport. According to police reports, at 6:34 a.m. just after arriving, Stefan attempted to log into his Google account. Not long after, his father Chris discovered that the hard drive from Stefan's computer had been removed and hidden in a storage bin at his facility. When handed over to the authorities, the contents were sickening. The drive held over 35,000 explicit images of children. In a recorded jail phone call, Chris confronted his son. Stefan didn't argue. The weight of what he had done and the life behind bars now waiting for him had finally caught up.
You know, the penalty for the crimes you have been charged with carry a minimum 40-year sentence. So obviously we're going to be gone. Rick will be gone. We'll all be gone. I mean, we're sad about that, obviously, because there won't be anybody here for you when you come out.
Chris, what the f*** are you talking about?
You know, and I'll be lucky if I have another 40 years left in me either, so. Yeah. I mean, I guess everything sticks. I wish there was a way that, you know, you and I can have a conversation, all of us could have a conversation to understand what's taken place, how this came about, how you arrived here, because it would help us better understand the situation, because we're at a loss for understanding how all this came about. I mean, we're just totally baffled.
A later autopsy confirmed what detectives had long feared. Madeleine Soto died from strangulation. While the exact time of death couldn't be determined, investigators believe she was already deceased before being carried out of the apartment. They suspect she was killed either late the night of her birthday or in the early hours of the following morning. As for the surveillance footage of a girl walking near the church that Monday morning, it wasn't Madeleine. Investigators later confirmed it was someone else entirely, a tragic coincidence that briefly gave false hope. Stephen Michael Stearns is now being held without bond. The list of charges against him is staggering. 13 counts of sexual battery, 7 counts of lewd molestation, 39 counts of unlawful possession of obscene materials, and first-degree capital murder. On April 26th, 2000.
Yeah, it's consecutive, bro. Yeah, give him consecutive sentences.
2024, Stefan entered a plea of not guilty. His trial is scheduled for September 22nd, 2025, where prosecutors will pursue the death penalty. He remains in custody at Osceola County Jail in Kissimmee, Florida, as his trial proceeds. Some theories float around the internet suggest that Madeleine might have fallen pregnant, and that's why Stefan had to get rid of her. They also suggest that Jennifer was in on it, which is why she was trying to protect Stefan until the very end. Phone calls from Stefan in jail were recently released, where he claims that all of this is just a mistake. He didn't kill her, he just discovered her.
I had gone downstairs for a while, and by the time I realized anything was wrong, it was just far too late. You know, she'd been gone for a while.
Shut the front door.
Just seeing her pale face and blue lips and how ice cold she was. And
yeah, that sounds cool. Not really, but there's no way any of that makes sense, because why? If that was the case, why would you do all of the other things that you did? Simple. I don't have to hear the fake confessions of a weirdo. I don't. We don't need that in our lives. Rest in peace to Madeline. I don't know if your mother was a part of the plan. Something in my spirit says that's the case, but I really hope not, because that's just disturbing. But the way that your mom was just like, oh, I don't believe that he's okay, cool. Get her too. Stefan, you're the worst Stefan on the planet. That you're up there, buddy. Freaky ass fraud. I don't really have much more to say. That nigga's weird. Life him. Wait, they looking for the death penalty. Death him. We gonna see the case unfold September. Let me know if y'all want me to react to that in the comment section. If I can't have the ability to do that, then I'll try to see if I can do that. If not, when there are updates for the case, I will be reacting to that on this channel. So, hit the notification bell, like, subscribe, comment, share the video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, y'all.
Baby, slide by to my mind.